Hey there, have you ever found the laws of indices puzzling? Well, in this series, we're going to be discussing the essential rules one after another. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the three fundamental rules: the first, the second, and the third. So stick around to have a crystal clear knowledge of these fundamental rules. So if we have a raised to power 3, as we know, a raised to power 3 will be a multiplied by a multiplied by a 3 times. And where a is the base and 3 is the index or power, or can also be called exponent. Now for the rule number 1, rule 1. It says that if a raised to power m is multiplied by a raised to power n, it will be equal to a raised to power m plus n. Now let's try an illustration to further understand what this means. Illustration 1. If I'm given 3 raised to power 2 multiplied by 3 raised to power 4, according to the first rule, it says we'll take one base, which is 3, and say the indexes will add each other because of this multiplication sign. So we'll have it to be 2 plus 4, which will be equal to 3 raised to power 6. But obviously, 3 raised to power 2 multiplied by 3 raised to power 4 is the same thing as 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by open bracket 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. Now if we count how many 3's we have to know what power it should be, first to all the base it will be 3 as the base, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which will now be the power. Therefore, this is the first rule of indices. Now, what about the second rule of indices? The second rule of indices says that if I have, that is rule 2, says if I have a raised to power m divided by a raised to power n, it will be equal to, pick one base, which is a, and say, because of the division sign, m multiplied by n. Now to understand the rule 2, let us take an example. Let's say, so this is the illustration. We are given 4 raised to power 3 divided by 4 raised to power 2. So according to the first law or second rule of indices, it will be equal to 4, which is one base, and 3 minus 2, which will be equal to 4 raised to power 1, right? But to confirm this law or rule, we can also say, obviously, 4 raised to power 3 is 4 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 4. Now the division sign, divided by 4 multiplied by 4. Now if we cancel, 4 cancels 4, 4 cancels 4, we are left with what? 4, equal to 4. And 4 raised to power 1 is the same thing as 4. So the second rule of indices, that is the illustration. Now for the third rule of indices, this rule is a derivative of the first rule. Now it says, rule 3. It says if a raised to power m, open bracket, close bracket, n, it will be equal to a raised to power m multiplied by n. Now if we are given a question for illustration, 3 raised to power 3, close brackets, open brackets, 2. Now for the illustration, The rule says that it will be equal to 3 raised to the power 3 multiplied by 2, which will give us 3 raised to the power 6. But obviously, we can also see that 3 raised to the power 3 or in brackets, which is now squared, will be 3 raised to the power 2 raised to the power 3 duplicated 2 times, which will be 3 raised to the power 3 multiplied by 3 raised to the power 3, which you then, according to the first rule, which says when it is multiplied, it will be equal to take one base, and 3 plus what? 3, which will give us 3 plus 3, which should be equal to what? 3 raised to the power 6. And that is how we got the 3 rules of indices and how we confirm them. So if you enjoyed this video, thank you for watching this lesson and the laws of indices. If you found this helpful, get ready for more. I will be breaking down each rule step by step in this series. Stay tuned to master the concept of indices. Now, I'll be doing this daily, so please stay tuned. Thank you for watching.